Welcome back to Sport at 7. I'm Tom Bushell. You can get me on Twitter at Tom Bushell UAE. You can also read my weekly sports column, Time Out Dubai, as well. So, the Giants are coming. We're talking the Abu Dhabi HSBC Golf Championship. I was in the capital on Wednesday to speak to the people who helped get Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods back to the championship. Well, the announcement's been made. Two of the biggest names in golf are going to be here in January. We can't wait for it. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. It doesn't get much bigger, does it, Peter?
No, it certainly doesn't. 1 and 2 in the world is fantastic. And of course, we will be announcing additional players in the next couple of months to supplement the field, and they will be out of the top 10 of the world too. So it's our tradition over the years has always been to produce a really good quality field in depth. And this year will be 2013 will be no exception.
Robert Rock got his hands on this trophy last year. What a story that was, because he was a man that was having Tiger Woods watch over him for that final round, and he was so nervous, but he pulled it through. And even though there's big names here, it's great memories like that for the players that haven't got that profile, which is great as well, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. And of course, the thing is that those two players are at the top of their game. McIlroy and Woods are top of the rankings, and everybody is out to beat them. So, and Robert Rock did it last year, and I must say, I for one thought that he would fold in the last, coming down the last furlong, as they say. But he held it together, and it was fantastic. And I think, this year, I'd like to see either Woods or McIlroy win, obviously. But I'm sure that all the other 154 players will be out there to try and beat the hell out of them.
Of course, Rory McIlroy will be coming here as world number one, much like Luke Donald last January. He didn't have a great tournament last year, but do you think Rory McIlroy can go one better as world number one in January and win the tournament?
Well, he's certainly playing. If he continues playing in January the way he's been playing at the end of this year, obviously he stands a huge chance, yeah.
Fantastic. We can't wait for the tournament, and we can't wait for more announcements as well. Thanks, Peter.
My pleasure.
Peter German there. He is the tournament director of the Abu Dhabi HSBC Golf Championship. Clearly delighted as well to have Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods back at the Abu Dhabi Golf Club in January. I also spoke to Giles Morgan. He is the global head of sponsorship for HSBC. Of course, they play a big part in the Abu Dhabi Golf Championship. And not only that, but the Rugby Sevens here in Dubai as well. We had a bit of a chat after the announcement in the capital last week too. Giles, it's going to be another big event in Abu Dhabi in January. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy, the big names to kick off the announcement of who's playing. You can't get bigger than that, can you?
No, you really can't. And the way these two guys have been playing throughout 2012, it's the perfect grandstand for the Abu Dhabi crowds. Obviously, Rory's achieved world number one status during the year. He's played so extremely well. But Tiger's come back from his difficult times and is beginning to put together some pretty meaningful rounds, as we saw in Abu Dhabi in 2012 this year, where for the first 3 rounds he looked like the real old Tiger Woods. And I can't believe that we have seen the last of Tiger Woods. He's looking very fit, very focused, and I think we're in for a real treat in January.
I followed Tiger around the course last year, and he really loves it here, doesn't he? But the question is, when is he going to win a title with HSBC? Because this is the 7th now, and he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah, I must say, but we feel that at some point that we may be a bogey on him. I don't know. He's played in 6 HSBC events. He's always come very close, apart from in the World Match Play. But in every other event, he's done so well, but been pipped by the better man on the day. And Tiger's the first to recognise that when he's been beaten by the better man. We're hopeful that he'll put as good a showing as he did as last year. And in fact, as a sponsor, you can't hope for any more. The right man has to win on the day, but certainly from a crowd's point of view, if you had a sort of McIlroy-Woods type final pairing, it would be a sponsor's dream, but it would actually be a golf fan's dream, because as we saw from the TV audience, not just here in the UAE, but particularly in the USA, this was one of the most ever watched European Tour events in America in the history of European Tour, because Tiger was back and was playing well. And one can't underestimate how important a figure he is for the game, because he's perhaps going through this moment of reclaiming or trying to reclaim the crown, but in a very new landscape where there are some youngsters who are probably quite keen to hold on to it themselves. So it makes for wonderful narrative and I hope wonderful drama.
Let's talk about HSBC in the region, because obviously there are so many massive sporting occasions here and you are in the thick of it. Not only do we have the Golf Championship in 2013, but before that the Rugby Sevens for December in 2012, and it's just such a big weekend in Dubai, isn't it? And it must be fantastic to be a part of that.
It's a wonderful weekend. We're both the HSBC Sevens World Series sponsor for the whole series, but we're also a local sponsor with Dubai and have been for 5 or 6 years now. And it really is one of the great events. It's a great social event, as we all know. The sport is fantastic, but it brings people from all over the region together. A bit like the Abu Dhabi Golf Championship. The two are not. It's not coincidence for us. These are proper flagship events in the region for HSBC. This is a very important region for the bank globally, and therefore it's good for us to be sponsoring the kind of events which bring people out over the weekend to show the human side of the bank as well. And certainly you can't have much more fun than at Dubai Sevens, whether you're a rugby fan or whether you're just a fan of a party. There's always something for everyone. And also here at the golf, where we've got not just great golf for people to watch, but for the family to come down. There's kids zones, there's family zones. Is we want to create an event that's good for people in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and we hope we're achieving that.
And you're quite right in the way that you say it is for the whole family, isn't it? Both those events, just absolutely for the family and for sporting fans as well. You can't get better than those two. Giles, thanks so much for joining me, and we look forward to the big events.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks to Peter German and Giles Morgan there. Looking forward, of course, to the Golf Championship in January. Many more names to come too. January the 17th until the 20th is where you can see those giants. Let's go from a stroll on the fairway to a marathon across the Sahara Desert. Rather you than me. Doris Matlock is determined to do it, though. I caught up with Doris recently to talk about the challenge ahead for her.
Well, I'll be participating in a race that's organised by Racing the Planet. It's a 250-kilometre foot race across the Sahara Desert in Egypt, and it's self-supported. So what that means is I'll have to carry all my equipment for a week, all my food supplies, my emergency equipment, sleeping bag and so on. So it's a staged race as well, so it'll be one marathon a day for the first 4 days. Day 5 will be 80 kilometres, and the last day will be the last section coming into the pyramids in Cairo.
And obviously you're carrying all your equipment. What kind of weight are you dealing with there?
Well, at the moment I'm still fine-tuning what I'll be taking, because I have to take a minimum of 14,000 calories as per the race rules, and I'm trying to get the maximum calories for the least weight. But I'm looking at approximately 8 kilos that I'll be carrying, and then on top of that I'll also have to carry water with me as well, which will be about 2.5 litres or 2.5 kilos additionally to the 8 kilos I'll be carrying.
Something you'll need to do a lot of training for. So how's that going? How's the training going ahead of the big challenge?
Yeah, training's been reasonably good actually. It's been a very different philosophy to my previous training for endurance events. I've done some Ironman triathlons, like long distance triathlons, and there's been a real focus on volume, but with this race it's been more a focus on strength training. So getting my legs strong, my core strong and my back strong. And the reason behind that is not only because I'll be carrying all my own equipment, but also there's a shift towards moving towards more strength-based training being of benefit to runners.
And obviously, what are your hopes for the challenge? Obviously to complete it, but what are the biggest challenges you'll face during the time that you'll be out there?
Oh, I think there's going to be lots of different challenges. They range from, making sure that I'm taking on enough nutrition, enough calories, I'm hydrating properly, that I manage my fatigue, that I sleep well, that I don't go into, I guess, a bit of a kind of a bad place with on a long day, for example, and staying focused and staying strong, and also avoiding injury. So my focus for this event is not to do a very fast time, it's merely just to get to the finish line.
And you're doing it, obviously, it's a big challenge for you, but
yes.
What's the motivation?
Well, I like to keep fit and keep active, so I've always enjoyed doing sports, but the main focus behind my doing this event is I'm doing it as a fundraiser. I'm trying to raise awareness, funds as well, but mainly awareness about mental illness, so particularly depression and bipolar. There's such a lack of understanding, a lack of discussion, a lack of communication about these illnesses, and they're quite significant. The World Health Organisation predicts that by the year 2030, depression will be the leading cause of disability in the world, and that's quite a startling statistic. So it's something I think we need to talk a lot more about.
Best of luck with the challenge. It's going to be amazing, and we'll speak to you when you get back.
Absolutely, look forward to it.
Hi, my name is Sergio, and I'm with Tennis 360 at the beautiful Meydan Tennis Academy. What we're going to do today is talk about tactics during doubles play. Today we have Luka serving and Zoran here at net. Okay? We're going to go through 3 positions when we're playing doubles at net. We've got the position where he's in at the moment, standard, you stay there for the whole doubles point. Okay? Then we have the cross. What's going to happen is Luka will serve the ball in, the return will come back cross court, and what Zoran is looking to do is come across, some people call it poach, come across and finish off the point closer to net. So he's going to demonstrate that now. So Luka served the ball in, the ball is coming across, okay, split, he's going to come across, bang. One more time. He's going to split, come across, come forward at net. But if you could see what Zoran did there, he started off in his position and he got closer to net to try to dominate the point. This is very effective in trying to put off the returner, especially if the returner is starting to return very well. Okay, tip number 3. What we've got is the fake. The fake is just as effective as the cross. So what's happened now is the serves come in, okay, the returner is about to hit the ball, and as the returner is about to hit the ball, what Zoran is going to do, he's going to move slightly to his right, then he's going to move back into his original position. Okay, so he's going to split, okay, he's going to move, then he's going to move back. Okay, this is a really effective technique to put off the returner. Okay? And those are the 3 basic positions what you can do when you're at net. And I would stress that use them in your doubles because it really affects the returning team. If you just stand there in that basic position, okay, nothing happens. Everyone just plays standard doubles.
I told you it would be a busy show this week. That's not it though, still plenty to come. Chris McCarty is on the way. We chat about that announcement in Abu Dhabi regarding the golf and some sad news as well regarding Bruno Metsu, the Al Wasl coach. It's all next on Sport on 7.